Today we took a short drive, just 40 minutes outside of Denver. You've got 275 acres of nothing but beautiful Colorado land. Pair it with a great home where you can stay, plan a wedding, do whatever you want. This is Conifer Ranch, and we're gonna go check it out.
This is a historic house listed on the Jefferson County Historic Society. 1875 build. Stagecoach came rolling through here back in the day, dropped off its guest for the day, and they spent the night and then made their way up to Leadville. So that's one aspect of this property, but it was homesteaded back in 1860. It's been used in a variety of different ways. They've used it for some logging. They've used it for a variety of different purposes, but it does have just a rich history.
We lived next door for a number of years, and Greg had always told our neighbors, if you ever want to sell, just come to me first. And so they did. So when the neighbors came to us and said, do you want to purchase our property? Greg said, okay, sure, we will. And then he turned to me and said, what are you going to do with it? And so then it turned into the Conifer Ranch, and we started on our journey of saying, what are we going to do? We turned it into the Conifer Ranch. We decided we wanted to share it with people because it's so beautiful. And Greg always said, you know, we're just visiting this beautiful place. Yeah. We need to share it. And we're only here for a short time. Let's bring people here. Let them experience the beauty like we do.
It's a nice, easy trip from Denver. It's roughly 20 minutes from the bottom of 470 and 285. So a nice, you know, convenient exit out of the city. And then you get up here, and this meadow is beautiful. You've got some great wildlife here. You've got some elk herds that we do some conservation work with. Just the wildlife in general, the deer, the elk. I think also with the backdrop of the beauty, you've got you can see Pikes Peak from here. And you know, just sitting on that deck, and you can't help but stare for hours at a time. It's got a nice little fire pit over there. You sit around the fire pit and sing in the evening. So there's a lot of things, some hiking, some other activities, but those are some of the things that I like about the property.
We have 2 homes renovated right now that sleep approximately 10 each, 10 to 12. So right now you can sleep 20 right here on the property. I'm almost done with a 3rd home connected to the property. So 10 to 30. You can rent 1 home or 3 homes. So 0 to 30 people can stay here and have a blast. You can rent it for events. You can rent it for just a weekend getaway, just for your family, for family reunions, executive retreats.
Well, we call it a stay and play, and I think that's probably says it all. There's a place to stay, have a little fun, spend time with your family, loved ones, you know, do some outdoor hiking, and then sit down and have you know, there's a commercial kitchen in there, able to sit down and have a chef come in for the evening if you want to. We call it a kind of a blank sheet of paper. You can essentially do whatever you wish with it, within reason. So I think that's our concept.
We have a wedding venue place. We have a place for a tent, a wedding venue. We have a ceremony spot. We've had a handful of weddings, and so yeah, you can have a beautiful wedding here. We have farm to table dinners here, which are fun. So the wedding party has the rehearsal dinner here. They have their ceremony here. They have their wedding, micro weddings, big weddings. It's a beautiful time. We've had people bring in a private chef. We've had small parties where they do, where they bring their own food. They have cooking dinners where they bring, you know, the family brings their own food, and they have a cooking party themselves. So the perks inside the home, it has everything you need. You just bring your suitcase, and you can stay for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks, and it's a blast. You just have fun. My favorite part is the deck. You know, I have some old pictures of the deck from way back in the day when it was a wooden deck, and And I wanted to recreate that. It was really special to me. And so now I made it like it was back in the day. And my daughter-in-law always said to me, all I want to do is have coffee on the deck. And so I see people out there having coffee now, and it just makes me smile. They're looking out onto the pasture, onto the mountain, seeing the elk. So it's the deck. I just think when I see people or when I'm sitting on the deck, it's so peaceful and it just makes me smile.
You know, growing up in Colorado, I like the space. The fact that, you know, I'm not restricted. There's 275 acres. You can do some hiking. You know, you can take your buddies and kind of bounce around the property and do those daily events. Maybe you're throwing horseshoes or, you know, some of those sorts of activities. And then in the evening, sit around the campfire, sit on the deck and have some conversation with your loved ones. So I like the choice, and so I don't know whether I have a specific you know, one thing, but I like the whole concept of playing during the day and kind of relaxing with friends in the evening.
Oh, Conifer Ranch. Sounds like it's time to plan your next staycation or event at Conifer Ranch. You can also schedule a tour and just go check out the place. All the info you need is on their website, coniferranch.com, and follow them on social media. They're posting cool stuff all the time. Instagram @Conifer Ranch.